Now, question number 2 is on factorization. So the idea of a factorization, right, is just let me give you an example. So imagine I have these three terms over here, AB plus AC plus AD, right? So the idea of a factorization, right, is quite straightforward. So these three terms over here, right, what is the common alphabet that you see? So that will be actually this A over here, correct? So that means that we can actually take out the A from these three terms. So in other words, we can factor out the A from these three terms. So this is actually equals to A bracket B plus C plus D. Okay, so that's the idea of factorization. You take out the common term, in this case, the common term over here, or what I call it just now, the common alphabet is A. So we can take it out. Okay, so based on this understanding, okay, let's do question number 2, part A. So we have 3p square q, okay, minus 12pq plus 6pq square. So this is actually equals to, so here, okay, let's just look at the constant over here. Constant means the number. So there's a 3 over here, there's a minus 12 over here, and there's a 6 over here. So what's, how about I put it this way, right? Let me repeat again. So there's a 3 here, there's a 12 here, there's a 6 here, correct? So I'm going to write it down, 3, 12, 6. So what is a common factor among these three numbers? 3. Okay, because 3 divided by 3, 1. 12 divided by 3, 4. And 6 divided by 3, 2. So based on this understanding, we can say that 3 is like a common constant. So we can take out the 3. Okay, so let's just do that. So this means that inside will be p square q. Then we take out the 3. So this is minus 4 pq. And then plus 2pq square. Okay, so if you are not sure whether you have done it correctly, right, you can actually multiply everything back inside to make sure you get back this expression over here. So this gives us 3p, just an example, this is not part of the working, 3p square q, then 3 times minus 4pq, so 3 times minus 4, minus 12, then put the pq, and here 3 times 2pq square, so 3 times 2 is 6, so 6pq square. So indeed, we get back the expression earlier, so the factorization is indeed correct. Okay, so let's continue on the working. So let's look at these three terms over here. So what is so-called the common term that we can factorize out? So here we can see that there's PQ, right? Here we can also see there's PQ. Here we can also see there's PQ. Okay, so if you cannot see it, I'm going to write it in a way that you can see it. So P square Q, right? Okay, is PQ times P. Okay, minus 4PQ is minus 4 times PQ. And then 2PQ square is actually PQ times Q. So you can see that PQ is like a common term in the three terms. So that means that we can take out PQ, okay, from these three terms. So this is 3PQ, right? And then since I took out PQ, okay, so this must be P. Okay, minus 4, okay, plus 2Q. Okay, so if let's say you are again not sure and not too comfortable with factorization, the good news is you can always multiply this back inside to check your answer, to make sure that it is the original expression. So this is actually just part of the working. Oh, sorry, this is not part of the working. This is just a verification step. Okay, so this is 3p times p square, and the q, you leave it there. 3 times minus 4 is minus 12. Then you put the PQ, and then 3 times 2 is 6. And then P, you leave it there. Q times Q is Q squared. So indeed, it is the original expression over here. So that means that your factorization is correct. So then the question to ask is, are we done with the factorization? Are there still any common terms that we haven't taken out? So let's look at these three terms inside over here. Doesn't seem like there is any common term left for us to factor it out. So then we are done with 2a. Okay? So let's move on to 2b. Okay? So 2b over here is actually, let's copy down the question, v plus w, okay, minus v bracket w plus v bracket. Okay? So look at this v plus w over here and w plus v. Okay? So I'm just going to switch the terms. You know, they look quite the same, right? So I'm just going to switch the terms over here. Okay, w plus v. So actually this will be bracket v plus w bracket minus v bracket v plus w bracket. So I'm swapping the position of the terms to get this over here. So now you can see that in these two terms over here, right, they share a common, so-called a common term. So that is v plus w and v plus w. So we can take this out. Okay, we can factor it out. So we get bracket v plus w bracket, and then what is left inside is, so v plus w, you take out v plus w, so the inside must be 1. So that's what's left, and then write the minus. So I take out v plus w, so I'm left with v, so minus v bracket. Okay, so again, if you are not certain of your factorization, okay, the best thing about this type of question is that you can always expand it back and check the answer to see whether you get back the original expression. So v plus w whole thing times 1 is v plus w, right? You have something multiplied by 1, you get that something, which is v plus w. Okay, so now v plus w times minus v. So because there's a minus, I'm going to put a minus there, and minus v, and then we times v plus w bracket bracket. And yes, we get back the original expression over here. So then again, this is actually equals to v plus w bracket bracket minus v bracket w plus v bracket. I'm swapping the terms here. So yep, it is the original expression. So the verification is correct. Our factorization is good to go. So last thing to check, are there any common factor or common terms that we can take out? Nope. So then we are done with this question, question number 2 on factorization.